There are three types of stock: raw materials, partly finished products, and finished products. It's important to control the quantities of each carefully, as stock represents a valuable asset. If managed well, it'll lead to business success. Some businesses face seasonal demand and will need to build up levels of stock over time to cater for large demands in a small amount of time. For example, firework distributors. Traditionally, firms have used a system of buffer stock to control their stock. You'll be familiar with this through the interpretation of stock control diagrams. For many businesses, the key to stock control is to keep levels of stock as low as possible, and it is this that distinguishes the Japanese idea of just-in-time stock control, a key part of lean production. This is a production technique which is based on the benefits of a firm holding very low or even zero levels of stocks of components. Think about companies like Amazon. They hold no stock and they only order stock when they receive an order from a customer. It uses flow production, which is often integrated with enhanced teamwork and responsibility. It relies on the predictability of deliveries of stock. Associated closely with Japan in the 1950s and 1960s, but it's now more widely used. So the advantages and disadvantages of JIT are: in case studies, it's often easy to assume that the benefits of JIT are so clear that it must be good, especially when we think of the success of Japanese manufacturing in the 1950s to the 1980s. But be careful here. On January 17, 1995, the vulnerability of this system was brought home in dramatic fashion. The Kobe earthquake devastated the transport infrastructure of the Japanese industrial heartland. Firms across Japan not directly affected by the earthquake still had production halted within hours as vital supplies of stock failed to get through. A lack of buffer stock meant there was no safety net to protect against supply problems. Remember, the reliability of supplies is the key issue to assess in your judgment as to whether a JIT system is suited to the business being discussed. But whatever you decide, make sure you can come to a conclusion that you can explain and justify.